They smile and say, "Watch this." You press play. 1 second passes. Then another. But something feels strange. Nothing is happening. You wait a minute. Still nothing. An hour later. You're still watching. The very first second. Sounds like the worst video ever made. Except it's real. In fact, to watch just 1 second of this video, you would need nearly 165,000 years. Not 165 years. Not 1,650 years. 165,000 years. If the first humans started watching it, you'd still be waiting for the ending today. So, what could possibly happen so fast? That 1 second stretches across thousands of generations? The answer is one of the most incredible inventions humanity has ever built. A camera. But not just any camera. The fastest camera ever created. A machine so unbelievably powerful. It can watch reality. Frame by frame by frame. Think about your phone. It records around 30 frames every second. That's enough to make everything look smooth. Movies? Usually 24 frames per second. Professional slow-motion cameras? Maybe 1,000 frames per second. Already impressive. But now imagine recording. Not 1,000. Not 1 million. Not 1 billion. But more than 150 trillion frames every second. That number is so ridiculously large. Your brain probably just gave up trying to imagine it. Don't worry. Mine did too. Let's make it easier. Imagine you clap your hands. To you, it's instant. Done in less than a second. But to this camera, your clap becomes an entire movie. Every tiny movement, every wrinkle in your skin, every vibration in the air, everything suddenly becomes visible. Now imagine dropping a glass. Normally, you hear a crash. Game over. But through this camera, the glass bends. Tiny cracks appear. Those cracks split into thousands more. Then, almost like fireworks, millions of microscopic pieces explode in every direction. It's beautiful. And strangely satisfying. Almost enough to make you want to drop your own glass. Please don't. Especially if it's your mother's favorite one. Things become even crazier with water. Have you ever watched a raindrop hit a puddle? It looks simple. Splash. Gone. But slow it down millions of times. And it becomes a dance. Tiny crowns rise from the surface. Perfect circles ripple outward. Thousands of miniature droplets launch into the air. It's like discovering an alien world. Hidden inside something you've seen your entire life. That's the incredible thing about slow motion. It doesn't create anything new. It simply reveals what has always been there. Invisible. Waiting. Scientists didn't build these cameras just to create amazing videos. They built them because nature moves far faster than human eyes ever could. Explosions. Chemical reactions. Electric sparks. Shock waves. Even the moment a bullet leaves a gun. All of these events happen so quickly that without these cameras, they would remain complete mysteries. But then, scientists asked an even more impossible question. What if we could actually watch light moving? Not the flashlight. Not the lamp. Not the laser. The light itself. At first, everyone thought it was impossible. After all, light travels almost 300,000 kilometers every second. Fast enough to circle Earth more than 7 times in just 1 second. Trying to film it would be like trying to photograph yesterday. Impossible. Or so everyone believed. Until one team of scientists actually did it. And what they captured changed the way we see reality forever. How do you film something moving at the speed of light? The answer is surprisingly simple. You don't. At least, not directly. Because no camera on Earth can simply point at light, press record, and hope for the best. Instead, scientists had to cheat in the smartest way imaginable. Imagine you're standing beside a highway at night. Cars are racing past so fast that all you see are blurry streaks. Now imagine taking not one picture, but millions of tiny pictures at almost exactly the same moment. Then, you combine them together like pieces of an enormous puzzle. That's exactly what scientists did. The system they built wasn't just one camera. It was an entire laboratory working together. Lasers, ultra-sensitive sensors, mirrors, powerful computers. Everything had to be perfectly synchronized. Because if one single measurement was even slightly wrong, the entire experiment failed. And we're not talking about being 1 second late, or even 1 millisecond late. We're talking about 1 trillionth of a second. To put that into perspective, light travels almost 300,000 kilometers every second. In just 1 trillionth of a second, it still moves farther than your eyes could ever notice. That's how unbelievably fast light really is. After thousands of experiments, it finally worked. For the very first time in history, scientists watched a pulse of light travel across a bottle. It looked almost unreal, like watching a glowing wave slowly swimming through space. Something humanity had always believed was impossible was suddenly happening right in front of our eyes. And that was only the beginning. Once scientists learned how to freeze time, they started using these cameras everywhere. They filmed lightning, explosions, chemical reactions, even tiny cracks spreading through airplane wings, long before the wing actually broke. Imagine discovering a bridge is about to collapse before anyone even notices a problem. These cameras can do exactly that. Doctors also use similar technology. Some medical imaging systems capture events inside the human body that happen far too quickly for ordinary cameras, helping doctors detect diseases earlier and save lives. Even the technology inside your smartphone has benefited from research like this. Not because your phone records trillions of frames per second. Trust me, your storage would surrender immediately. But because scientists learned more about light and how cameras capture it. The same discoveries helped improve sensors, making photos sharper, brighter, and better than ever before. It's amazing to think about. A machine originally built for scientific research eventually helped improve the camera, sitting in your pocket, But perhaps the most incredible discovery wasn't about cameras at all. It was about reality itself. Because these experiments revealed something fascinating. The world around us is constantly filled with events too fast for human senses. Tiny explosions, invisible waves, particles colliding, light bouncing in every direction. An entire hidden universe exists all around us. Every single second. We simply don't have the eyes to see it. And that's what makes these cameras so extraordinary. They don't create magic. They reveal the magic that has always been there. But then, scientists asked an even crazier question. If we can freeze light, could we one day freeze time itself? The answer is even stranger than you might imagine. So, what's next? Can scientists build a camera that's even faster? The answer is yes. But there's a problem. Every time engineers make a camera faster, physics makes their job harder. Imagine trying to catch a hummingbird with your phone. Difficult. Now imagine trying to photograph a lightning bolt. Even harder. Now imagine trying to photograph light itself. That's the challenge scientists face. The world's fastest cameras aren't just taking pictures. They're fighting against time. Because at these incredible speeds, every trillionth of a second matters. One tiny mistake, and the experiment is ruined. So instead of recording a normal video, many of these systems collect tiny pieces of information. Again. And again. And again. Then powerful computers rebuild everything afterward. It's almost like solving the world's hardest puzzle. Except, nobody tells you what the final picture should look like. Somehow, scientists still make it work. And every time they succeed, they discover something new. These cameras have revealed invisible shockwaves, hidden vibrations, and tiny cracks spreading through metal, long before anything actually breaks. Imagine knowing a bridge is about to fail, before anyone else notices. That's exactly why these cameras matter. They're not just making cool slow-motion videos. They're helping engineers build safer airplanes, better medical equipment, and more powerful technology. Even the camera inside your smartphone exists today, because scientists kept pushing the limits of imaging technology. Pretty amazing, considering most of us only use our cameras to photograph lunch. But perhaps the greatest lesson isn't about cameras. It's about curiosity. Every generation believes it understands the world. Then someone invents a better tool. And suddenly, everything changes. The telescope showed us galaxies. The microscope revealed invisible life. And ultra-fast cameras uncovered a hidden world, moving far too quickly for our eyes to see. Which makes you wonder, what incredible things are happening around you right now? Completely unnoticed? Maybe the universe has never hidden its secrets. Maybe we've simply been looking too slowly. And that's what makes science so exciting. Every answer creates another question. Every discovery opens another mystery. The fastest camera on Earth isn't the end of the journey. It's just another beginning. Who knows? Maybe the next impossible invention will be created by someone watching this video today. After all, every great discovery starts with one simple question. What if you enjoyed today's journey, Please leave a like, subscribe to Beyond Discovery, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another incredible discovery. Thank you for watching.